We nailed another captain last game week in Watkins. He scored a goal and got 3 assists. If you've not already subscribed to these videos, make sure you subscribe so you gain value. First up on the shortlist is Haaland against Everton at the Etihad. We didn't captain him last game week, and rightfully so. Are we going to cave in this game week? Darwin might have something to say about that. He's got an easier fixture against Burnley at Anfield. And last on the shortlist is Richarlison against Brighton. He's also got the home advantage. He has got an advantage over the other 2 players on the shortlist. He is a midfielder, so he gets an extra point for every goal scored. That's ideal with him playing out of position as a forward as well. Plus he's got the clean sheet point potential. It's unbelievable how clinical he's been so far this season. He's got the best non-penalty return points per 90 minutes on the shortlist. However, he has got the worst expected numbers, and the expected numbers are better at projecting future goals and assists than the actual goals and assists themselves, so he has got the least promising underlying stats. It's no surprise that Haaland's got the most promising underlying stats. As for Darwin, he's not far behind, and if it wasn't for the woodwork, his non-penalty return points would probably be better than Haaland's as well. To add some context regarding the woodwork, he's hit it 9 times this season. No other player has hit it more than 3 times. In fact, he hit it 4 times in one match. So with his output not being anything special, a lot of people say that he's not a good finisher. Well, actually, I think he's been unlucky. I think he's a bomb waiting to go off. And if you're wondering why his teammate Jota's not on the shortlist, it's because his underlying stats are nowhere near as promising as Darwin's. I get that he's been keeping up with his output, but those stats are likely to regress because they're not sustainable. Another reason why Darwin's a better pick than Jota is the fact that he's on penalty duties in Salah's absence. I know that he did miss the last one, but missing 1 penalty isn't enough for a manager to take the player off them. It's not good for a forward's confidence. Anyway, I hope that debunks it for you. I am an Evertonian, so I really don't want to carry on going on about Liverpool. As for Haaland, he's on penalty duties. I highly doubt that Richarlison will be on penalty duties. South Korea's just been knocked out of the Asia Cup, so there's a big chance that Son might be playing. And even if he's not available or fit to play the full match, Richarlison would have to compete with Werner and Maddison. As for free kicks and corners, there is an outside chance that Haaland might take a direct free kick, depending who's on the pitch, but that is a rare occasion, and none of the players on the shortlist take indirect free kicks or corners. Haaland's got the highest anytime goal scorer odds this game week, but it's Darwin who's got the highest anytime assist odds, and between the 2 of them, they've both got the exact same chance of returning. Between the 2 of them, I do slightly prefer Haaland's odds because they're weighted more towards goals, and of course you do get more points for a goal than you do for an assist. As for Richarlison, don't forget he gets an extra point for every goal scored, so on the weighted odds, he's actually not that far behind. On the other hand, he does still have a 44% chance of blanking, and that's much higher than the other 2 players on the shortlist. The points projections are dominated by Haaland this game week. He's got the highest overall on Fantasy Football Fix with 6.6. He's also got the highest figure on FPL Review with 6.4. Neither of the data models believe that Richarlison's got a high ceiling, and Fantasy Football Fix only have Darwin down as a 67% chance of starting, which is unsurprising because he was benched in his last match against Arsenal. But by comparing the opposition's defence, we can see that he's got the easiest fixture on the shortlist. Haaland arguably has the most difficult fixture on the shortlist against Everton, but Everton are only 2% more likely to keep a clean sheet than Burnley, and that's because City's attack is relentless. Richarlison's fixture against Brighton isn't too bad, but they have got the highest clean sheet odds. That's because City and Liverpool offer more attacking threat overall, but a 90% chance of scoring at least 1 goal isn't bad for Spurs. Before we draw up a conclusion, we're going to carry out a quick risk assessment. All 3 players on the shortlist have had an adequate amount of resting time. When it's 3 recovery days or more, I'm not concerned. It's ideal for Richarlison that he's definitely match fit. He played 90 minutes in his last match. Haaland played 86, so he might be ready to play 90 minutes in this match, considering the fact that he's had 5 days to rest. Darwin only featured for just over half an hour in the last fixture because he was benched against Arsenal, and that's not ideal. But to be fair, he has got a couple of additional expected minutes in comparison to Haaland, and I think FPL Review are considering the fact that a couple of games ago he wasn't playing many minutes. In my opinion, I don't think that's a problem anymore. He was pulled off just 4 minutes before the 90-minute mark. He still managed to get 1 non-penalty XGI in the whole match, and he got an assist as well. I think Richarlison's got the highest floor because of his expected minutes, but I don't quite like him as much as Haaland or Darwin this game week, especially with Son potentially coming back into the team. He might steal his thunder a little bit. You could consider Son for captain, but I don't think he's as good as Haaland or Darwin this game week either. And now for Haaland versus Darwin. For those of you who always watch my videos, you'll know I'll never pick my captain because of ownership. My most recent ones have been differentials, but that's because I thought they'd get more points, and to be fair, I was right about that. The player who I think is going to carry on the hot streak this game week as the best underlying stats he's on penalty duties, he's potentially on direct free kicks, he's got the highest chance of scoring, the joint highest chance of an attacking return, the highest fantasy football fixed points projection, and the highest FPL review points projection as well. So recently I've been going against Haaland, and rightfully so, but I think this is the game week to captain him. It's worth noting that City playing the first match of this game week, and we're likely to get leaked team news whether Haaland's starting or not. That's an advantage over Darwin, especially with Darwin being benched in his last match. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these videos.